志工的安全政策，而且绝对不可以企图使用志工然后来取代当地原本知心的职员。另外，这些计划呢也必须要有一定的坚持跟永续性。
Each team consists of a conservation volunteers team leader who is a paid member of conservation volunteers staff and up to 10 volunteers. Our team leaders are all qualified in occupational health and safety, first aid and defensive driving. The team leader is generally knowledgeable in the practical conservation projects we operate and is selected for their skills and abilities in managing volunteers.
每一个小组呢都会有一个环保志工的小队长这样子，然后这个小队长呢，他通常是知心的环保志工职员，然后另外再搭配10位志工。那我们的小队长呢，都具备有职业卫生与安全、急救跟防御性驾驶的资格。那这些人，这些小队长，他们可以运作实用的保育计划。那他们另外也各自具备有不同的技能。那我们就是借此技能，然后来进行挑选，让他们来管理志工。
So I'd like to show you some pictures of what our volunteers actually do, and they're all team-based activities. The first one, planting trees to provide habitat for endangered species and control erosion.
那以下呢，就要跟大家分享一下我们的小团队他们在做一些工作，全部都是以团队合作来完成。像在这里看到，就是他们在种树，那是希望可以保育当地的一个不管是物种或者是当地的一个景观。
I'd like to mention with this particular program actually that there are 360 different varieties of eucalyptus trees in Australia. Koalas will only eat 2 of those types of eucalyptus trees. So this is a very important habitat restoration program for one of the most famous animals in Australia.
那这边大家看到这个是非常特别，他们在种的就是尤加利树。如同大家知道，尤加利树呢是无尾熊它们主要的食用的食物，所以这对澳洲来讲呢是非常重要。
Our volunteers collect seeds which are grown into grasses, shrubs and trees. This ensures that local plants are returned to local areas where they belong.
那我们的志工呢也会去收集种子，那这些种子呢到日后就会变成草木跟林。那我们透过这样的方法，可以确保说当地的植物呢能够回归到原本它所属的地方。
Australia and New Zealand both have significant problems with weeds which take over habitat areas. Our volunteers remove weeds by cutting, pulling and digging them out.
澳洲跟纽西兰呢都长期为杂草所苦，那这些杂草就会占据掉原本其他物种的一些栖息地，所以我们志工就用割跟拔的方式，然后来铲除杂草。
We build walking tracks in national parks to help people enjoy these areas safely and without causing damage.
那另外呢，我们有在一些国家公园呢建立步道，然后希望大家到国家公园可以很安全的来享受旁边的景观。
You can probably see from the pictures that our program is quite physically active, but it's suitable for everyone to enjoy at different levels.
那大家从图片上可以看到，尽管需要很多的劳力工作，不过呢，其实任何人想要参加都会有适合他们的一个工作模式。
In some cases, walking tracks include learning carpentry skills to build bridges and boardwalks.
那大家可以看到，就是如果要建一个步道啊，有的时候需要有一些木匠的技术，那所以我们也会透过这样的一些木工技能，然后来建桥或者是一些步道。
Volunteers learn how to build fences, for instance, to protect areas where we're planting new trees.
那另外，志工也必须要学习如何建栅栏，然后来保护我们刚刚种好新树的地方。
Like many places, unfortunately, our country suffers from problems with litter, including marine debris washed ashore on remote beaches. Volunteers collect and classify this litter to help the government address the problem with shipping companies. This project directly helps marine wildlife such as dolphins and turtles.
那跟世界上很多其他的地方一样，很不幸的是，我们的国家也常常会遭遇到垃圾乱丢的问题。那很多垃圾都是从海外，就是会击打上岸嘛。那这些志工就会把这些废弃物搜集，然后分类，并且协助政府向船运公司提出这样子一个质疑。那这些计划呢，主要对于海洋生物非常有帮助，像是海豚或海龟等等。
I'd like to mention that this is one of the most remote beaches in Australia where there are no population living anywhere near here, and this is all rubbish that's washed up, that's been thrown overboard from ships. So without volunteers who are willing to go to these places and clear up this kind of mess, this would just stay there and be a real problem for the wildlife.
那我想要提出的就是这个地方，大家看到的是澳洲最偏远的一个海岸，那完全没有人居住，所以如果没有我们志工来这里把这些垃圾捡起来的话，大家可以想见未来还会有多少垃圾就是丢在这边。
Volunteers carry out regular wildlife surveys to help monitor species numbers and ensure they're healthy. This often leads to habitat improvement projects such as planting new trees or installing nest boxes.
那我们志工呢也会固定的进行野生动物的调查，来协助监督生物种类的数目，并且确保这些生物呢都维持健康。那这也会导致栖息地的改善计划，例如像我们种植新树或者架设巢箱等等。
This program is on an island in New South Wales, and these penguin chicks are being measured and weighed to make sure they're at a healthy weight before the winter arrives.
那这个呢是在新南威尔斯哦，这些志工他们在帮这些小企鹅量体重，然后就是看他们在冬天来到之前呢，他们是不是有办法可以长到应该的健康体重。
I hope you like this picture. Some people do and some people don't. Mammal trapping programs help monitor the health of small species like this pygmy possum.
那另外呢，就是我们也会进行一些哺乳动物的一些调查，像这只小小的可爱的动物。
And this is a species that was very badly affected in the bushfires recently, and we've been doing a program to count how many are left and to restore their habitat for them.
那就是近期啊，在澳洲也发生了大火，那这场大火呢，烧掉了很大部分这个小动物它栖息的地方，所以我们正在计算说还有多少只是留下来的，然后我们正在努力重建它们栖息地。
And perhaps more recognisable and maybe more lovable to some people, this is a rock wallaby. This is a very, very rare animal. There are only 6 of these living in the wild.
那另外呢，这个可能大家都会觉得很可爱哦，这是在生长在岩石间的袋鼠，那它们在澳洲其实也已经很少见了。
It's a little bit hard to see, but this wallaby is wearing a collar with an aerial for radio tracking purposes.
那我们就是有看到或者是抓得到的，就是放在上面做一个侦测的装置，然后这样我们就可以追踪它们到哪里去。
Following the devastating fires in Victoria last February, volunteers have been helping with fire recovery programs, rebuilding fences, planting grasses, shrubs and new trees to prevent erosion and start restoring habitat.
那在2月的时候，维多利亚呢发生了很严重的大火。那这张照片就是我们志工在协助进行火灾复原的一个工作。那我们在重建这些栅栏跟种植草地，然后种植树木，避免当地可以被侵蚀的。
And as you can see, this is a huge task which will last for many, many years to come.
那如同大家可以看得到的，这其实会是一个非常长时间才能够完成的一个计划。
We have many international volunteers that contacted us in February that wanted to come from all over the world to help with this program, and in fact we do have international volunteers right now that are helping to restore this area.
那从2月开始，我们就一直不断的收到不同地方的一个国际志工，他们自愿要来帮助我们恢复复原这个地方。那我们在现在这个计划还在进行当中。
Conservation Volunteers has been recognised with many awards and prizes. We're very proud to receive awards which recognise the achievement of our staff and volunteers, and which confirm through independent assessment that we meet the very high environmental and social operating standards which we set for our organisation.
那环保志工呢，目前已经获得了非常多的奖项肯定，那这让我们觉得非常骄傲，因为这些奖项呢，其实就是肯定我们的人员跟我们志工的成就。那这些都是透过个别的评估，然后证明说我们符合了我们自己所设定的非常高的环境跟社会运作标准。
In 2000, Conservation Volunteers was admitted to the United Nations Global 500 for environmental achievement. We were one of just 11 organisations from 10 countries admitted in 2000.
那在2000年呢，环保志工就获得联合国颁发全球500环保贡献成就奖。那我们是在2000年的时候呢，11个来自10个国家获颁这个奖项的机构之中的其中一个。
Recent awards have included the Golden Backpack Award for Sustainable Tourism, which was voted for by international volunteers themselves. Last year we won the 2008 Qantas Tourism Award for Sustainable Tourism, and we've just been awarded the 2009 Ecotourism Award by Ecotourism Australia.
那最近期我们获颁奖项包括了金背包奖的永续旅游奖，然后这是由志工投票选出来的。去年我们获得2008年的永续旅游的澳洲旅游奖，然后也刚获得了澳洲生态旅游协会所颁发的2009年生态旅游奖。
Our program has been independently assessed by Ecotourism Australia, and our programs carry advanced ecotourism certification. This means that we meet very high standards in relation to our operations. Assessment covers areas such as vehicle use and operation, resource use for cleaning, heating and lighting, making sure we buy food from local suppliers to reduce food miles, and ensuring we employ local people as staff and work closely with local communities where we have our offices.
那我们计划呢是由澳洲生态旅游协会来独立进行评估，而且呢我们计划有高级生态旅游认证，这表示呢我们的运作符合非常高的标准。我们评估的领域包括了我们